Your runners, garments, galler, Deus, Hasek, J. Klum, Helene D. Brownen, Hasir, John Saunders, Craig Lumen, Esther Cyril, Kramen, Daisir, Daniel Pernd, and Mr. President states justice rights. Let's make this. I'm gonna surely make the same circuits we were doing, that this are trying to obstruct and deflect and make the hole that naturally keeps on making here around. Realities to reference putting and killing at the day. And that the circumstance is to the setting in clear fact of the whole of the situations here, what is going on and what do we still go through. Please ask you, please here forgive me, I apologize. Everything seems like I will be so crazy and every day makes worse evil and sickness to me. And it will be like you will be just mercy to treating some confusion of affairs all over the world, that everybody wouldn't get no reality about no point of clear, but for what I will confuse, so no one will ever found no clear, no truth about nothing, nobody, no state, no point of no radical institution for no justice, no court. Reference about that you will be around concerned about my making and my exposition and my terms and my looking at with no concretion about nothing to be reference about clear fact as reality except the quest at the accusations of Argentina and UNASUR that I will do and the supposed exhibition that I will be with the remanential reality of I will be a very dangerous delusional terrorist that you will try to having the right sights to containing the world that I will proceed in producing the disasters that here defines that will be for a very powers non-giving demon beast cycle with no reference of no reality and a tailor chap to the making some things around some forensics sickness determination to the liar that they will be the real of the realities ever judgment for all as existences, and telling that this will be class of a crack of the psyche to deliver the conscience of certain elements to watch around the spiritual and being aware for the delivering and delusional making for I will be doing also command control specialized supposedly to run into the armed forces, all I do and all I send you which are using for the capture, rape, murder and killing, styling Paris Hitler, styling Troya and Branon and styling Van Ballet, which it used to be in Kaulute, whenever happened, what happened. Now, the reality, as I were referring about this, we were talking so oftenly, and I'm sorry for still the push in the project and the extortions, and my really tiredness and violence, and seems like so natural lately, I just swear the way I have been doing, I'm so sorry, I apologize. And the realities that still happens all around, and I'm gonna put this in evidence here on Advent and Royal King put it by El Chai, Holy King, at the arms of El Chai Rafter, Melech Galevas, with the Lebron, needing I too. And I'm saying this wholly understanding, not to provoking the sickness that they are provoked for whatever this is, and not only my terms, but the reality itself. That they need to disfigurating and destroying and suppress and ruining and killing as possible for they to be and nothing else. Less reality. Nearing Haida doing this and Melech Gadelvas at the presence of El Chai and protected, which there is a very precious and a very problem that I don't like, and I need that precious person of El Adon Adoneinu to be fine. And the same everyone there, and the same you all. And the other precious person, and each as precious persons we have. And this is not arranging, accommodating nothing. I need you, please, to be safe as understanding what we are dealing with, and I'm sorry the view, and I'm sorry the pathetic panoramic reality or panoramia that delivers into the I talking to the States and who will I be just peachy around Buenos Aires. Let's put this in clear. I'm going to send this as the circuits are no match. Maybe I should send it to Moscow, but the reality for liaison office rather to handle Yorona Edmund, Yorona Berman, and Hailek about the realities and the problems referring this all that we are doing. And I know Mr. President Barack, I have been a very weight and a bother to you, and I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, and the same to everyone, and the same to you, Melech, and the same to you, Mr. President Rilin, and the same to you, Your Honors. I'm so sorry, Mr. President. Let's put in this in a clear fact and trying to be the most clean as terms, as definitions and realities as this happens as well, all around. I am still with the health problem. Naturally, the situation here around is the same. People is attacked daily. It doesn't change as it's all covered. Press is in a side. There are people that I were trying to put in contact for there to not happen the worst, for they to not get murdered, for there to not transit worse state as we already had. KIRSCHNERS, squatters, time on and time in, made them disasters and still there's to make it worse, are a very mason, distress of humanity, criminal organization and mass, and doesn't has no boundaries and no respects and placements about nothing, and I keep on suffering like anybody else is. The same United Evangelicals and the same the whole of associations, having the MOBIL as the putting the core as the kill for the ahead, whatever the supposed justification with the sweetness of the greeting, reaching some coins or some millions or some favor or some dream around going to making somebody that having sex and working with witches like Roberto Rótolo and the Policía Federal Argentina and Policía Metropolitana, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, evangelicals, the whole that are with them, which are the most that as already I shown you and told you this is happening, and the reality with the whole with them as pointers, punteros, at this town and all over Argentina and UNASUR, making this organization's background para-social for the making this opportunistic about our people and whoever to be court, no matter whom, no matter what. So they raped, murdered, and possessing what they got. And this is a very exploding time that Christina Kirchner's hall, and it's no lie that you know, Nestor Kirchner, Máximo Kirchner, Aníbal Fernández, and the whole of the Kirchnerada enferme criminal, which are, except for the number of blunts that are class of a very facade element, like normally happened, until they cannot use them no more, and they will proceed about murder them. Between them, Eduardo Rosenberg is possibly there to be in. Now, the clear fact of this all is exactly as the normal state of disasters that kept on happening around. Baroness and the whole that you know, the pointers, while Leindels, less humanity case, at The Hague, are all with the same making, and everyone as Policía Federal Argentina keeps on declaring that they has careers about to ripping off of me because of they didn't allow me to do, because of they would suffer too much. And yes, there are people suffering, there's no lie, but the most are the opportunistic sickness that we fight, and I don't bear nothing of no one of these 6 sons of hell, and people suffering, and there are a lot. The Armed Forces Argentina is exactly the same. Not talking even for what it meant, homeland, are the cradle of the hand person, there is no lie. Now the reality for Ejército Argentino is exactly that they kept on proceeding about making and organizing all over Latin America, even though the whole is already known. Sorry. Even though as clear everything proceeds about to make the same understanding with the eminential element on the non, or let's say this, underestimatable underestimatable list of all. About all, with all. Never underestimate no one of this. With the certain clear fact of what they determinately says that they will conquer, they will proceed about to possess, and everybody shall scramble in front of them, and they will be just like in Ravicin, plus of a very, the underbellies of the whole of the glorious SODOMA-GOMORRA. You understand what I say. The projection is still the same, and the number is exactly like a Burmese. It's going to show you even KIRSCHNERS, and Tana keeps on working perfectly. I need here to be protected as well with everyone. We know how to work about this and how to do about these situations. Forgive me, I have been really in a rare state. You already know what I wear around here, which is true. Further, my health states and the whole of the daily damages I receive. The reality for this. Gel fogol sechmat lekiviso sheklika, revefegon sechal misvat sheim, bablevisok machal, vesmasim, blekimar revefechu at SERVICIO speaker, hargini. And Samara keeps on saying that they has my place, they are doing this. It's a summary secret for Federal Police of Argentina, for defense of Argentina, Justice of Argentina says in the letters that they are going to help the situation and they are going to be heroes in basis of retaining me here, instead trying to take the people off. Because of far with the interest of making something which is not exactly clear and not clear. I suppose they would have the duty and the obeyment attached for the reality of the killing to the patriot, what the supposedly patriot will need, that I will ever have to remain here. Now, the reality is keeps on rubbing to me everything in this, which is me with you, and they says that it's them with you. Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, Ministerios Argentinas Mauricio Macri, Evangelistas Unidos, Peronistas, Kirschners. Keeps on making the same all, and then parties degenerates saying that they are going to take my place and not me. Now, the reality of this is I didn't receive nothing, I didn't receive nothing at all. And it's true if you need this woman, let it in here, the one that Eladon made and my mother, for fixing some plumbing domestic problem that I could fix myself, but the reason of this were exactly a certain clear of a steel threatening, even with this, if I were there. So suddenly came inside this house two, which are related with militaries Argentina and with the whole of the generation Kirschners, which were denouncing and making damages to me for the opportunism of coins to the village that I cut right across the street, which also handles the narco of the government of the city of Buenos Aires, City Hall of Buenos Aires, which is living in front of here, and making the job of the telling that he were the macho erectus inside my house with my mother, and that were someone to getting in the forces for having the duty for the land. And this land keeps on promoting and giving ascensions and giving promotions and delivering for best ever exponential for the patriot, the class of a crap that we came on suffering permanently. The whole that I told you and I were denouncing to you keeps on positions and making the same, and Rodolo as well, squatters with a robbed car for the family of Bhakti that were still reclamation making to this land that makes deft reality at the day has self-purpose like these abominations to keep on making with no other about nothing to happen and nothing to be. I received nothing, I signed nothing, I said yes to nothing except what we are doing still. The clear fact of the states delivered to me into having a very high peak of stress. I have been suffering too much this disgusting land. I have been for about 604,204 times to being kidnapped, re-kidnapped, declaring that I will ever have to be internated because if I will need medications and Mauricio Macri is involved. And whole Policía Federal Argentina and whole Evangelistas Unidos inside Tribunales Argentina, Talcahuano, Street 550, Comodoro P. Boulevard, Retiro neighborhood, Buenos Aires, where the federal supposed, which is nest of criminals and degenerates, like the rest all except for so few, and threatening the rest of the what we understand, this exists as the real institutionals, the real government, which is permanently attacked and suppressed and disappearing or raped or murdered. Now the clear is, we are in a very going and coming and so fluencies around weird things that seems like people gets murdered every day. We should be extinguished already for the soul, and if something like this weird for everybody wonders, and naturally everybody will. The number I'm saying, which is exactly what you corroborate, remains about to happening still the same, and the problem is that top head of the Sodoma land making like a very, I don't know, the land is birthing for millions and comes like magically for the magic trouser or something, I don't know which, that will be tragic because of will be the gender, and we don't need the species. Now, reality 4. Certain class of things that I will learn so much is exactly the class of things that keeps on happening permanently here and keeps on making pregonación, the voicers, around the reality of this population complete and all over Latin America and all places in the world and the whole of the vibe hubs and even the hidden dyslektika rotevan for the telling what I will be and making voicing around of what I will do or become or done in the whole of the fortress lies and presenting the whole that they said I done. And still they're still doing the same with our people. Now the referendum for this keeps on trying to make the same class by the text, and yesterday we have been working intensely with a ton and so much things, and they are needing supporting with blunts, and we have been under treason with POLICIA. They never stopped and they have done disasters. I don't like them. Now the reality. This is exactly the situation. I am still member of Anti-Terrorism and World Council, United Nations, Geneva, New York, Kuala Lumpur, Sydney, Jerusalem. That is true. I'm still member of United Nations Anti-Terrorism World Council. And I'm still working, and I am considered still about your honors, puts me aware in even weird still today for so much consciences affected for the reason of the whole strike state and another and so scrambled situations at the suffer at the pain, but liaison office as criminology as person for, even though the forced and the tiredness and the damages and the so swearing and permanent of the trend supporting me at the flaws of the non-institutable, like permanently with this evangelistas infernales were causing to me to take in place of mine and robbing my life, saying we have rights to taking your blessing and everybody else's because of we gotta be and not you. So keeps on proceeding about making the same abominations in the whole of the world and spreading all over whatever they speak communications medias, whatever they says I should be, and trying to taking opportunistic catch for whoever to associate and alliate, buddy, come to help and get a coin. So suddenly the reality of this that we're seeing too, I am still at the core state, and I have this family, Roto family, which you know the address already sent you by email, making the exponential at the neighborhood, giving the face to working at the same gestalt, Sodoma-Gomorra, with witches and evangelicals, pretending I do not realize and no one to realize and everything to be like, make them believe that we are with them and trusting in witches and evangelics, with the people that will ever just attach the suppression and being just believing that they will ever try to help me, the ones that they knows and understands, while makes parasocial like KIRSCHNERS associated with them all, and with the whole SODOMA-GOMORRA, Policía Federal Argentina, Policía Metropolitana, Fuerzas Armadas, Ejército Argentinos, and then whole sickness, around the reality for commercializing the houses and the cars of the people that is delivered into rape and murder of our communities, our nations, populations. And making commercializing of what I do with 5 rotors of armed forces and armies Argentina inside each place making the connecting direct on the PPRMT, whatever I do, whatever I switch, whatever I change, and robbing what I cut, and being the supposed certifying for Policía Federal Argentina, Gobierno KIRSCHNERS, Gobierno Macri, Evangelistas Unidos, that I will rob what I do. The supposed witnesses. And while in talk at Bohmatsika Bakrasin, and while, even though, the reality that I am class of a very element for they to dignitaries say that they will be the proudly worth of the land, and they will be the mature, making the normal as every day provoking me at the door and seeking the way to in, the way to catch, the way to get, the way to try to proceed and produce with Poder Judicial de la Nación, Cuerpo Médico Forense, Hospital Borda, Hospital Alvear, Hospital Piñeiro, Hospital Fernández, Durán, Churruca, Álvarez, and then whole associated Kirchners and United Evangelicals, making the day of the coin that they will make to me and putting in evidence that they will design the reality for I to get at the what surely had to be happening to me, and making the same class of the generations to me, himself and its family, which turns to be telling all around, as you need the textual that I wish I do not say, the old bitch is around there just gone, the old bitch is coming, the fact that the generate, the old fag, and the crows, Bentley Camagin, the one that the liars, the one that eats delirium all the time, and making business about my life disgustingly, and also about the whole I do and making career playing the Super Cup. And at the way that you saw about down to me permanently Kirchners and the whole Tribunales Argentina and Fuerzas Armadas and Evangelistas Unidos, permanently here, now Macri, the same time Borda, pretender of hospital, is a cradle of abominables that generates and criminals with burden of so few, at the reality for the making actually the clear fact of isolating and handle institutionals and the time up and making the accommodating of the things and trying to watch and know what were happening around, to disguising and putting orders and saying what can possibly be, what cannot, and we're talking of institutions and this is law and we have a religious this and you got to handle by the code. But the reality is the code is really far away from them but products of commercializing my life and anybody else's that keeps on internating peoples that knows what this do, who they are, and saying who I am and what I'm doing, to destroying them and disqualifyingly putting them like non-believable testimony of nothing and also element for futureless humanity and sailing like merchandise, which permanently keeps on making me. You saw them while and though, even you, Mr. President Barack, you, Mr. President Rivlin, even Lebron and even United Nations, the same World Health Organization with NAVAL in person. And as well, not only, give me a moment please, I'm going to check. I heard some beeping, forget it please. And as well, not only NAVAL, ONG, United Nations, but even so much other like royalties of the world trying to assisting me and helping me like we know it's not delusional, not hallucinating, not delirious, not schizoid. And also Liaison Office and International Court of Justice permanently trying to put me out of here, and while and though that kidnap process of Borda making the generations to cover and arranging inside this land of abominables, delivers and criminals with the pardon of victims and the ones that suffers, at the point to establish the right impossible to reach and no one to proceed about making no right with the pretext of do you want to get killed? But the problem is that this murders who makes the right thing and the situations is kill whom and are about the most that this proceeds about making are involved. So the reality of this and for the putting in clear this class of things is exactly like still thirsts to keep on making and says that I will ever have to be internated. And are arranging with Policía Federal Argentina, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas and experts that place the sum of the Glekura, Marine, at the Oblaki magazine we are helping to add. But the problem is that there is Hestov and making the time up while until everything keeps on working at the convincing the people that everything is okay. And the Sons of Snake, the terrorists that are all inside making a para institution, para medicine, para anything, for the proceed about making this work to them. The reality is happening with everybody here. Like, you know, the same UNASUR is making. We don't reach. And they make hostile infrastructure artifacting and worse and keeps on making like, I done first, I have the prize, I went to the world, they recognized me, who done this? Like. So, the picture of this is exactly that ain't not gonna change. I'm gonna give you here evidence, if you need, of course I will. But the reality is exactly, keeps on forging my signature alias yours. Documents. And telling that they are the ones that commence. And originarily, like they are, hell, organizing all over the world, this of I done first, take the control, Hitler, Paris take of Europe for the Second World War. Are the reality of making disasters all over the world. The problem is, there are certain things like the top head of Sodoma, Argentina, delivers certain other species, but I am going to talk to you seriously about this, and I suppose delusional, and I will kill you all. Now, Sklebi Rave of Masich al Bekrava, for Masech al Givishut, Levis Pat Lektika, Ratshel, Avad Sebot, Abapleki, Rave for Homachal, Givisosa Blegi, Magretish, Vadlegis Matsir, Sleki Rave for Ravis, Hamapleki, Magretish, Levis Pat Lektika, Maravefum, Stuch, Adatsina, Klika, Rove Thamas, Baselikini, Ravefoch, Adlegim Baratskina, Maferua Sechla, Maslevisos, Sheva, Imple Porot, Karave for Homatleki, Mispat, Setshulam, Inskepo, at the Roskhaligi Mispat, the Shte, Inset Leki, Rafaranachla, Maslasima Blevis, Potcherin, Bla, and Kavis Motinin. Skobleki Barafehuma, Blevisos Lechibatica, Ransehola Machavinita, at Setcheve, Kolaki Borovet Patsenochi. Lina Muktek Rochhabachatse et Dechem, Leila Victormat Heborosus, Blavetishmat, Leki Birambaspache, Det Lecolio Roch et Sim, Embleki Morafehuba Black Machalki, Visos de Vispachenama, Sebloku, Ravefehula Kama, Ravefehula Vispot de Vispotletima, Ravethima, Blekavam, Skolio Shkeleka, Rofochal, Havableki Machat, Sevi Blavestu, Stualem Bleki Machat Hali, Mistap Leveshuat, Leki Barhavespat, Latchenam, Sleki Barhavefuat, Levispot, Letishi, Latica, Ramblakim, Ravefehua, Blevesosa, Blevispat, Lechi, Likam, Inkletika, Ravefehol, Havablevisos, Lavismatlem, Seblegi, Rafehuat, Sebablevisos, Leki, Mirachia, Letimi Plavam, Imploko, Ravefehot, Haniki, Blevesosa, Blevesostika Vim. So the pretext now is that the whole of the land involved, as soon as will say, as the excuse, knowing who I am, that I will be the beast with evangelicals, and making pregonation all over the world that any as arguments this breed of hell have put it in keeping at the will of murder serially and genocide and whoever, what I will ever be, saying that that will be their salvation and they will become, I don't know what plasma delusional instant of fever, squeezing neurons has in the head, everyone is sick. Blekamar Ravefehua, Tleki Marit, Vasechal Kimisoshet, Legi, Ravefehuamasar, Lemblevi Forma Sechal Kishvat Lek Michat, Hanama Plevisosi, Plevisosim, Shklevi Kama Ravefehul, Halakimar Ravesfit, Fidli, Bespatleki Maravesim, Shleki Maravefehua, Plevifohot, Shelgi Michamis Fasim, Slevi Paravefechal, Hamablevismot, Legi Masivan. Forgive me for the squeezy, will be slithering, but the squeezy thing like making the Bergvesich Masim jumping all over or just sliding all over like a Bergvesich as if there would be a very lemmings peg around, I don't know, sorry for that, hamsters. Bergama Black Machalkimi Revefohalavisasim, Shluba Kamaram Farlechamat Levisim, and the separated ones. and that is serious, but the problem is the hamster is a hamster. This is other species. Forma plek matchal gimi chreve fechok pleve soseblevam, slegi machreve sechivi sholevim, machreve fechua pleve siv, sklub beberra bechmot lechma kimba pleve sosiva plek. Replechma chal gimi sochat viach ma pleve fochot siba plenim, sklevi machreve fechol chama pleve svotesh laki machreve fechol legim asasina, se pleve focha vesech leki machreve fochat selegi visashel, at lekim bochat bacham chal gimi focha vesvit pleve sosiva, sot shelaki machreve fechuma pleve sosmiti. Dan, klepover vechmat, se chalkimi rebe fochot sishlika, bachova chalagim sosima. Se otshu be'alektika bohoti dat se moshevem bedlenim. So every one of ours will be demons, for they to kill, destroy, and taking what we got. And everything will be just endorsed that whatever I do and I do try still for the justice and state parties with the radical disasters that this are causing all over the world and contacting for they do outrage and push and destructions and social disasters and institutional disasters at the point that I will rob them or any of us. As even the denounces again to Michael Bolton, to Joan Manuel Serrat, to Gad Elbaz, Melech Chachai. And to much other arrests by Argentina federal force and armed forces and evangelicals and Kirschners telling that this will be the time to acting toward and that they will organize. You have the briefs complete with bimbers we have been working, and the reality for this, the completeness about Kaiders. Sorry for that, Isus, but whatever. Seems like a very joke and funny. I'm saying names that are so like rhymes things. And regularly are real exactly. So suddenly I can say Max Helen and I can say Decree. But no, Blensers, Cancers, but okay, sorry for that. Other reality for this. The point is, we have a problem with the whole this and recurrently that they are causing outrage all over, which stimulating the capacity of the people to create and possessing with a simple anybody can, the F word, having sex, conducting to sex, deliver to sex, rape, actually. With a witch, with an evangelical, or at the force. Corrupting, destroying, abducting, and making the chap as knows how to manipulating for the proceed about also with the little trucks for their work and much better. And this Rodolo is involved with a lot of bunch of sickness that turns to calling me like I told you in the textual, and I'm sorry, but is worse than that. So suddenly in the middle of this soul, well this dikluti repachmot shelam, there's to keep on proceeding, are making this all over the world and seeking for the field as possible this to work and who to be the worker in the argument that they will fight against the enemy. Now, the reality is Guillermo Prince, were always involved. Everyone and the people that were not part of, I were trying to put out, and they were threatening to murdering them. I came on ripping them out, people, for so long. They didn't ever realize, but I ripped them out for about, and this is not a lie, 18 million persons from Latin America and US. For they did not get murdered, and we put them at safe. And healing and understanding which doesn't mean nothing to be of God unless the abomination stirs to be something to be. So suddenly in the middle of the soul we're permanently involved. The same happened with the para bodies of Osvaldo Carnival. The mask is a disaster and the whole embrace done. They will be authorities of God and God will forgive, so they will ever have rights to going through, taking anybody's lives, forging a signature, robbing a transit, 1993 model with a very capacity for will be a work of someone that anybody else will need it most ever at the referendum of them in heated trousers. Forgive me please. And the reality for any house around, any documents around, any tickets around, any accounts around, any money around, and any orders around as judicial and governmental for the person to be reimbursed because of they says that they shares between themselves, because of they will ever have to be paid for damages, because of they will be uneducated or miseducated damaging, like much over. The whole that are premeditated for being murdered and ripping off everything they got in worth for what they plan against GOBIL, GO-US, states and justice by the Liaison office and the rest. And corporations, of course. Is fortune. For around, forgive me that I'm saying this again, for having the supposed sex right around. Anybody has a border and anybody has a hysterectasia, anybody can through. Please, for a simple quote of having a very dignitary element of being a sick son of a snake, runny, tramply, carpet, butchway. For the common taking and use anybody, for the making the earning of the day, forgive me please, but it's exactly this. Now, terce. Spokagi Himi Blagach, Halaforas, Helakimach, Helakim, supporting one each other and saying that they are kind of succeeding and everything's going to be okay because of the whole of the forces and whoever gets in the ambience, says that everybody does, everybody is involved. Macris, Kirschners, except for a few that doesn't has nothing to do. Kirschners, the whole evangelicals except for the ones that are used for the gate and the ones that are murdered to deliver for they need some coin or something to accommodate because of they will say who has and who not. Peronism except for a few that doesn't has nothing to do, and the whole of the sickness of them societies. And UNASUR complete with Ejército Argentino, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, except for few which are destroyed and still delivering my friends and our people to Ejército Argentino and Ejército de la UNASUR and others to saying that they should learn of respect and disciplining for they to be and killed. And then families to saying they learned. Like a very sadism of the whole of the sodomitas, degenerados, recurrentes, all around this cut and discussing them. So suddenly keeps on saying to me the same, keeps on sustaining the same, keeps on making the same, and para it all, and Sedli Kebarbasim, are they already knowing? Did they become aware? Oh my God, put it on back, take it off! Are all criminals. And the reality of this, for the setting in clear, still this class of situations and problems, is exactly that every day keeps on happening. And every day keeps on doing, and every day keeps on generating, and no one stops, and keeps on making gestalt, no matter, no nothing to anyone, and no one ever stops. The clear fact of the soul is proceeding about making the same, and whatever I do to be at the hunting, the 24 hours for the same they done and not I, and they will be and not I, and they will arrange and cover and catch and orders and possess, glorious to the whole of the world. And I will be so delirious, right? And I wouldn't blame you if you're tired of me, not at all. I'm so sorry. Now the reality is I will be the least because of we are doing this activity and I'm talking to you, and because of you are sending permanent orders to Argentina to normally proceeding for they to attach the orders of the international courts with no threatening anybody, which there's to keep on making, like you already are aware. Now the reality is keeps on robbing everything that I have to have and keeps on learning that I keep them and I will be permanently internated by how's this? Rehab of narcos and what it is, alcohol and what it is, mismedicated because of I will be a bipolar because of that reason, which is exactly the argument new of Borda. And the argument new of the brothel that generates some sickness because of his brothel feel of horse and sickness, and I'm sorry this as tough to be heard, pretender of code, which is still the cradle and the basement for the whole rest that it's done, like a coverage and a tight for between all, because of the liars that the national law will deliver to them, that I will be a demon and cannot be defended. The defension of the demon. that the whole of the rest causes wouldn't have no purpose, but violent though keeps on making them and sustaining until the, oh, now we can do, well, here we've got a demon, we can proceed. So the reality of this violent though, trying to saying that internating me and making me best like a demon, like the ancient times, so intentional and conscious, disgusting hell criminals, will be exactly defending me for the whole that these are doing and saying forever not get killed, while will be preserved for the last, which is exactly permanently doing. And I want this cut them land dead ever after, and it's exactly undiscussable, ain't nothing else to say, and it's exactly what I say. Ain't no deflection, ain't no overreacting, ain't no exaggerating, ain't nothing to refer about non-true, non-real, or crime committing, or nothing to be institutional or justice to refer about these terms, taking victims of, innocents of, and the goddamn disgusting land in hell. Now, the reality is simple and is clear. Like I was saying at the last test that we were discussing, and we were saying, which started to saying that with a thought of any disgusting criminal in a very female dressing in Policía Federal Argentina and Forces Armadas, telling that they were the owners of my thoughts and my philosophy of living and my evidential literally capacity with photos and everything else as an art, and they would do everything I do. So kept on making the same abominations in base of coming to witches and coming to the terrorists and saying that they just taking my life and my spirit away for the reproducing what I've done, to saying that it were them, and blocking my networks and my computer with a very dissociated from my RAM operationally software that I cannot find a way to ripping it out except to erasing and deleting the complete of the disk and starting over, which I'm going to keep it for evidence if any possibility I have to go through lines. The reality, for the ripping out and robbing and making the degenerations that naturally in this land are made, and for my person promoting and giving ascensions and range to the any criminal, the generado, that destroys my life, in the poor one you serve the patriot, and destroying my life and everybody else's, telling that already were done, that remain that way. So this disgusting hell society and land with the pardon of victims is exactly what they defines the reality of the power of Argentina, or Argentinian power. Coming for witches, evangelics, and being a bunch of degenerados y criminales de cuarta, and making the disasters, which is the remanent show, lo que remanece, which is the Argentina. Now, at the referendum for this, pleki magrevet fochuch, vedeki magrevesim, spledika grevet fochova chlika magrevet fosiva, plevesos pleki magrati vaspachel, se olactica, mampleki mogrevesuam, imploker grevet fochoves fechleki masim. The thing is that everything is studied and organized, so the whole of the excuse is for nobody to get murdered, but why nobody to supposedly get no murder? There are millions raped and murdered and destroyed, and the ones that supposedly avoid the murder makes the field and the possibility to happen worse, and destroys the ones that makes the defensions and the orders themselves about to nobody to get murdered, but let them around so everything will be just having sex around. And if they get violence, well, because of I will provoke them. So I will be the cause. So the deflection of this disgusting land is at the same class of foundations like at Mavin, Sa'arok, Arrof. And it's exactly what we're suffering. They are not going to stop, and it's exactly what they used to. Now, this disgusting kleka marvesin, rotolo, fachleki marvesiva, seblaviko marvefogma plevesosiva tlen, replaki marvesfohula, vespatleki marvesosher, imploveki marvefohleki mesachaletis patlet, tletika marveplaki marvesoholeki vesuplevis patlenika, remaplevisosir, shleki marveplavis, patleki marvesohua plevesosir, sleki marvefohlevisotleki marvechavam, slepespotleki marvefohua plevesostishlek, genko marvepohleki maplevisos, plevespadika, Replavika marvesus patleves sociale, ki vikama smuta, nektika, parropa, plavesosim, apleki mahove fachlegi mesosim, slepika reve foa plevesoce shrek, remapleki mahachisleti, bletis an maktek mahove foa, mapleki mahavesasim, shlegi mahove foa, plevesoste, shkili kebar, refernam, plemetzachleki mesociole, vikam rebetam, stopleki midim, stepelene. Like the most of evangelics of praying, except for the victims. And the rest that you know. For business. And with this, the latency at awaiting for an order for the procedure about making, with they robbed everything they got, they robbed Ukraine, they robbed everything. And this is not all of they have thieves, let's take them out, and let's take everything they got, or making any invitation for Policía for Argentina, or making this scandal for there comes Policía and making the chap and oh, lady, won't you blow chap to me? I need to be blow chapped. I'm an officer. Are you doing? And some other. Or provoking, like it's permanently seeking the way, for El Di Carnatin is hysteric and the road coming and going, coming and going, coming and going, coming and going, like if not working because of it receiving the profit of it. And the most of bodies of it all around expecting the same and making the job for any choice and any possibility. And it's exactly what it happens and what are doing. And Ejército Argentino, Policía Federal Argentina, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, Kirschners, Evangelistas Unidos, Peronistas are all about everyone. And City Hall, Buenos Aires, everyone is involved. And it's exactly every day. And the whole PJN, Cuerpo Médico Forense, hospitales, at any neighbor that founds the aggression for anyone as where or can be already the board consuming because of where. And it's another jurisdiction, we can do it. Even denouncing them and telling them they were criminals. And pretending to say that they would give me life lessons to putting me therein, to show me that ain't nothing of that happening, everything were okay, and everything were just quite and fine. Fombleki mavrave huable vesosleki vishvatlekiva radhamam, amblevos pobleki mavrave fogale visochi vishvasin. I will be internated for lying. So understanding that I had a lead, metomaniac and offense in government. But my family supposedly concerns that I cannot live in medications, that I will be bipolar and delirious, and dangerous for my mother's health, that I will attack her. I will be dangerous for everybody, and I will persist and insist in the same, delivering at the maniac reality of religious repressive fetish, which I will have like forensic stare, the perros degenerados, and forgive me for this, still, that I will have the need for the having sex with the uniformed forces man that I wouldn't dare to asking for the peace. So I will layer between the reality of the fear for to being catched or to being hunted or to being attacked or to having a problem around the reality of sheltered about religious ideas and the repressive for and also the character of the violence for the trend to avoiding the disaster of my life and the humiliation and embarrassment and jails and the danger to be hidden or mistreated and wouldn't like me and the reality for I will ever also having the delusional character of being the supernatural megalo idea for the being some supper of holy of the God that would pretend to doing the whole that this degenerates will do and says there's to doing what I do. And to cover myself over the super eminential capacity of the megalomaniac to fear me, that I will be some powered one, that I will destroy everybody and nothing will ever suffer, nothing and will be my idea of fantasizing that I will do. And nothing will ever happen about what I say. And with this all is doing, happening, and doing, to Amia, to whole court and less humanity permitted are already making exactly the same that they are doing to me, with this class of degeneraditos all over, and to everyone as state, waiting for the moment in latency for jump up. And this is not for paranoia making, but the reality is simple. I have been speaking about this, and we should ever be wise in understanding how to proceed and being careful about this. The sick degenerates were seeking more ill and more willing and more ruinous shit all over the world, and I'm sorry the term, for the making exactly this to everybody and saying that they will have at the cost of anything. And this will be my instigation for making genocide and to making massive murders. The reality is we don't need massive murders. We have problems and we have been working, and whenever I just tell you, even with the problems we have and with the situations which delicately and are not so plausible, like sometimes and other times are not so easy to simply go ahead and do it. The reality is simple. Whenever I search a mod and let me, it worked for something. And you understand I am not Megalo. And I am not squeezy conscience around subreal or underreal. Lech morre fechua blech machal chematzim, gel komorre fechua ble beforot selki vastrelachti, archaman fachlam, seple beforot echli ishvat techal, chamaplekimi, rebe fechulu, shvat levim, sople rebe fechu, chamatlem. I need you to remain the alert. Like I told you already, Tana is delivering to you briefs in the whole of the situations. We keep on working. I'm so sorry for the situations, and I wish this to be over as well. I do not have to say no sorry no more, except for just being right around if you will ever be willing to simply, even if silence, and remaining what is like us. In the whole due respect. Splogim arrebe fechua blefachman chalgi visoseb leviso shali techman chalku arrebe fechua levisoseb levisochni steblebe forevechlag visoseb shvatlekmav. La bleki borotche bachman chal of spook betshval asebleki borovecha besvosem iblebe forman chalgiam. Gives them making the same that I will rob this and I will rob everything, and gives them the learning that they will be the authors of the whole eminential existence even of God and the completeness of our days and the whole I exist and my name and my person and my work and my everything, because of they shall take positions and take the Gestalt styling for the power in the world and saying at last we shone, and they will just do the same the generations and disgusting hell shit that they have been doing all over here and all over where they were around, like you already know. And we gotta be careful. This is a dangerous real species, underestimatable less ever at the reality of we know who they are and what they do. I ask you please, and forgive me the radical terms, https Gimorot lechima forot hilaki forot lakiva seser shlepika maplok mochubab lediat politika lechpor machal visosam lebleki foroch lechmat leki forot levisot levisoshir shlepika rafachal chamaplebach matlaki virofasu leplevi bochotki barafachol levisos leki marafachol maplevisovim sleki barafachua pleviforon sachal gishmat leki maravetz laplevan slokimi rafafocham middle tleki bochot teshva middle seas litlika 88888828.int F6, the complete of the last tools, and https www.plerofen ravespacham blekimin slubatika ravefachulba blevesoblaviswa lekima ravefachol blekima ravesti shlegima raveforbach lacham blineste derlekiva ravefacholaki mochavesim blaveswot like mokrat likamaram stopleki ravefachol eshvachla chamatlen ravesachim slebekaram Ravefachim, Bledesacholagi Vesosim, the last of the Klech Machlin, Blachmikim, Inshkel Blech Machadlesim, point Klekal, F7, the last keys, and the last entries that I sent you. Everyone works at the Blachmi, Ravespoch Machal, Givisosim. It is for about 2 seconds. You're going to have a very information, and it's exactly radical to fiber. We got to be careful about the power thing, which still remains, and you're going to see here. As surely your runner with Tony and Clunch are going to deliver to you. You're going to see the information that I'm saying to you. I'm so sorry for the last times. You need I to say, I say to you, today is Wednesday, May 11th, 2016, and here is 2015, 20 past 15, Buenos Aires. The reality of this, I have been working, I sent you the last works that I have been doing. Chris, to be protected please, and the same LeBron and each as Justice Parties Foundations, please ask you. And the same officers, ask you please, the whole as institutions, governments, courts, I need you to remember we should ever be alert, not paranoid, but alert, please ask you. And the reality for this is, I sent you what with Chris Rankin. He is awesome, he is a remarkable, precious person, precious man. professional and responsible that he asked me to do with Yorana Admin, with Elebron, with Mr. President Relin, when I did do certain things, I were too much struggle because of kept on making the same and still does, even with this video, and keeps on proceeding about the making the same all this disgusting hell crap, and I'm sorry the term, radical term again, at the reality for this soul, and I know what they keeps on making day and night, and keeps on proceeding about the same ways I've been denouncing you and telling to you, and at the reality for the proceeding with the same old class of ill and destroying the violence, the pressure, and the gestalt with. So the proceeding making an acting. So, like with this, everything. And the reality is, no, I have not been having sex. I have been with the extortions. You already know the situations we have been working also with criminology about and holding the realities and disasters. I have not been around no one. I am not dating nobody. I'm not coming to the house of nobody. Nobody comes to my house. I am not having social life for the same reason. You know, the reality around here is exactly. Nos cruzamos con el Caderina. Ay, el Caderino todavía no lo arrestaron, todavía no lo detienen, ay, todavía no lo secuestran. Ay, se la pasa delirando todo el tiempo. Ay, el degenerado, puto viejo. And things like this permanently all over, and no one changes this, and forgive me the terms, is textual. And worse than this, and also radically expecting at the latency for that, I have been not doing nothing at all. I went not to the Ameguino Hospital with evangelistas and Kirschners and the Generados, Metropolitana, Federal, Prefectura, Gendarmería, Evangelistas, and the rest of Paris. Oh, he's not going, so he needs medication. He cannot be without medication. The things that has is because of the liars. It's wrong to, not to us, to the evangelicals and to forces. We are doing everything the liars he does. And the accounts are ours because of President came to us, and he thinks he has rights for the ideas that are something for the intelligence of the state. I will be a secret of state seal for whatever this is. The reality of I do not consume drugs. I have been making antibiotic therapy that would be being at the, like I already said to you, because of a very like between I will be a prostitute, promiscuous, the grandest of the whole of the disgusting prostitutes, having sex all over and contagion making of AIDS to everybody that I will have. And even Ramos Mejia and Duran will ever lie about the tests that have done last. And the whole that I've been doing, everybody will lie. I will be just covered for that summary secret for the some problems, and they will be threatened. About the reality that they would show that I would be nothing of Lord and nothing of no holy and no real reference of reality to say nothing at all, but all what they will make me do, and they will do that I will just capture over tab. And the reality for this, that I will be the summary and the summon of the whole of the sickness of the prostitutes, about to contagion whatever the diseases all around, and contagion myself for whatever infectious, and coming for antibiotic for the cleaning my sin and my conscience and my disaster because of I couldn't compulsively handle this at all, and just permanently supposedly taking medications like antibiotics, and I will be addicted to. I have been doing just what Yorana Admin and Criminology and MOBIL asked me to, for the reason of what you have in briefs about allowed. And like this, further this, I do not smoke, I do not drink no wine except whenever I do Pesach. I do not consume no peroxide needed, and I have been at the permanent exposition of damages with chemics, with bacteriology, and with other class of things which ain't non-stopping. And the whole of the forgeries, forging, the whole of the videos, photos, documents, signatures, whatever the speech, whatever the talking, using my lines on clones, DRMT, and the whole of my applications between my lines that I use about my phones and whatever filing, and destroying my computer, reproducing and making the whole of the staging that they will do, and whatever I do to writing, even in the whole of the linguistics about Hebrew alphabet or Yiddish alphabet or Bengali or whatever any other, even like Macedonia's, Belarus, Russian or any other, like at the moment for they would do whatever I'm doing, making a link picture from my desk that I couldn't reach the reality for switch off yet, and no help, and neither the reach of Mark Audi that wanted to employ me for American Express again, Buenos Aires, for 1 day here, just taking my stuff and leaving, which keeps on happening the same. Mark is okay, wait to you